Hello everybody, it's vanburman here. Welcome to today's video. If you haven't already seen Game Giveaway Friday, then please feel free to check it out. I don't know what's going on with my hair today. I mean, I did like shampoo it earlier, but it's now gone all funny and floppy. Maybe it's too long. Why is this bit at the back sticking up? Anyway, yeah. I was here. I mean, if you read the title of this video, then I suppose I've gone massively off track. So yeah, I just wanted to talk very quickly about the election. I know I did a video before on it, so I just wanted to make a sort of follow-up to that. I just wanted to give you my opinions on it. In terms of the actual result of the election, with the Conservatives getting a majority, this is obviously in the UK, by the way, guys, in case you weren't aware. I guess really that's probably, to be honest, my second best outcome. There weren't a party that I voted for, but at the end of the day, I would, as an English resident, I would much rather that than a Labour SNP coalition, which is, of course, probably the next likeliest scenario. Sort of maybe with one or two slight add-ons, but nevertheless, yeah. So. And as you know, UKIP didn't do very well. Nigel Farage did lose in South Thanet and then walked away with one seat for nearly 3.9, I believe it is, million votes, which is quite a lot. And it is, I don't know if the right term is unfair, because life's not very fair. We can go on and moan about it all day long, but I think it definitely shows that there needs to be some change in the way it's done. Perhaps not to a truly proportional system where, for example, if you get 30% of the votes, you get 30% of the seats. I think that's too far. But there needs to be some change to try and make it a bit fairer, I suppose. Well, not I suppose, but a bit fairer. I mean, and I'm saying this even though I'm not the biggest fan of the Greens at all. I don't like their policy. I don't like the policies they brought out for this last election. Anyway, I'm always happy to listen to political parties if they've got good ideas, and I'm interested to read their manifestos about what they would plan to do. But in this election, for the Greens, I am very glad that they only got one seat. A lot of people were saying they'd be lucky to hold on to Brighton. But, if... I had a name in my head now and it's just gone. But if she's doing a good job down there, then, then she should stay and carry on her work. But obviously they got 1 million votes, and under any sort of change of system, they would be a lot better represented as well, not just UKIP. But anyway, I'm sort of digressing, I suppose. I mean, obviously my sort of ideal scenario would have been a Conservative DUP UKIP coalition. And to be fair, when I looked at the exit polls that the BBC put out, it looked like that could happen. We would probably have needed UKIP to take a few more seats, really, but maybe four or five seats for that to happen. But it wasn't to be, and at least it seems like we should get a referendum on Europe now, finally, just to get the question answered. All the other challengers, leaders of the challenging parties even, all obviously resigned their posts, including Nigel Farage, although he did withdraw it and tear it up. But I mean, I'm not really sure how I feel about that. I do think he's a very, very important figure in UKIP. I think he's a very, very important figure in politics in general. Even if you don't like him for nothing else, then he provides a sensible voice to the opposite opinion, and it's good to see that he's still got a high position in UKIP, and well, we'll have to see how they do from now on. But he fully went through with it and considered it and wrote the letter and gave the letter and was fully determined to quit. But at the end of the day, political party. People get very upset about their political parties that they support. Too much so, in my opinion. I mean, you know, I do support UKIP. I'm a member of UKIP, which you might not know, and you might say, "Oh, he's a racist." Well, you can call me that if you want. You can call me whatever you like. But like I say, I am more than willing and happy to listen to the opposite sides of every argument. I don't agree with absolutely everything any one particular party does. But there were a lot of policies in the UKIP manifesto that I did agree with, and I do think are right for the country. And I do hope that the Conservatives will at least look at them, or have looked at them, and will think about perhaps implementing some. Because I do think some of them could really help. But anyway, it's just that's just my opinion on that one. So I'm not really sure exactly how I feel about everything. You know, there's a lot more to happen now. We've got 2 leader contests in Labour and in the Liberal Democrats, so it'll be quite interesting to see who does take over in those parties, and just to see what sort of direction they try and take those parties in. So that will at least, you know, give me something to get my teeth into, I suppose. And although it is going to be a bit of a slow burner, I feel, but the elections had quite a profound effect on everything, really, just in general. I mean, obviously it's an election, and that's to be expected, I suppose. I do think that the SNP will push for another referendum on Scottish independence. I do think they'll win if they do put another one forward. I think the Scottish people this time will choose to leave. Although, as it's been quite well documented, if they had have left last time, they would now be in an absolutely terrible position. But who am I to say? I'm not Scottish, and I'm going to stick with the same rhetoric as I stuck with last time, and that is, it's up to them. And whatever decision they make, you know, I'll have to accept it, and I will accept it. You know, as simple as that, as far as I'm concerned. In terms of the European question, I mean, I don't really see myself as much of a campaigner, but I will do little bits and bats when that comes to it, because I like to think I'm fairly educated on the pros and the cons. I've studied a lot of European law, and I personally think, on balance, there's far more reason to not be a part of it than to be a part of it. So when it comes around to that happening, you know, I'll be doing little bits. I'm not sure what, maybe a couple of YouTube videos or something. I'm not going to be going mad and be on the street with a placard and a megaphone or anything like that. It's not really my style, to be honest. But no, yeah, that will be probably one of the biggest things. I mean, that question needs to be settled in one way or the other. And as much as I would hate to say it'd be a yes vote and we'll stay in and we'll take the integration, which is what I think the question should be. It should be fully come out or fully integrate. And I won't like it. And I was watching Question Time. I do want to put this out there on Thursday. Well, I watched it yesterday, but it came out on Thursday because it always comes out on Thursday. And one of the questions that Nigel Farage was asked, obviously a lot of stuff about his leadership, but one of the questions he was asked was regarding whether UKIP would still be important or still be relevant if the referendum result came back as a yes, we'll stay in. He made a point about the SNP, but I don't think it's totally valid. At the end of the day, UKIP are a party now that represents a certain amount of people, and whether that is purely the European question or, you know, the manifesto and the points that they want to put forward and the changes they'd like to make, I think that beyond obviously the EU and immigration, you know, I think they've got very, very good reason to stay in politics and to actually become quite a big force in politics. I do think that UKIP will become the third party. Well, and to some extent they already are the third party. They just don't have more seats than the Liberal Democrats. Nevertheless, you know, that point, you know, 3.8 million votes is a decent. I think it's 12.5% of the share. So, which is more than the Liberal Democrats got, obviously with the voting system that hampers that. But yeah, so that was the point I was going to make. You know, they might have to, I suppose, change their name, I suppose, if we're sort of forever tied with the European Union. But I don't know, in 40 years will my children want another vote on it? I'm not so sure. I don't really, I can't really say. I can't speak for them, but maybe they will. And yeah. Anyway, I have gone on too long. If you do have any opinions on the election, or think I'm talking a load of rubbish, do tell me, because I know that people on the internet love to do that. I probably normally wouldn't be bothered. I just clicked off the video by now. But there you go. Anyway, guys, thank you much for watching. Thanks for listening to me ramble, because no one else will. And I'll see you all very soon. Goodbye.